She dreamed of dancing on the world's biggest stage. But one wrong landing shattered everything. Her body was broken, and so was her heart. Most people would have given up. She almost did. But from the silence of failure, she found a new rhythm. Not on stage, but on the open road. This is the story of a girl who lost her dream and found something even greater. She didn't just survive. She learned to fly again. The girl who learned to fly again. The first dream. When Leila was just 7 years old, she saw a ballet performance on an old television in her grandmother's living room. The screen flickered and the colors were faded, but to her, it was the most magical thing she had ever seen. The dancers moved like they were floating, graceful, silent, powerful. In that moment, Leila knew. She didn't want to just watch beauty. She wanted to become it. She begged her mother to let her join a ballet class. At first, it was just once a week. She would tie her shoes in the living room and practice turns until she got dizzy. Her parents thought it was a phase, something she'd grow out of. But Leila didn't grow out of ballet. She grew into it. Her tiny hands became stronger. Her posture changed. Her eyes sparkled every time she stepped onto the cold, wooden floors of the studio. By the age of 11, she was the youngest girl accepted into the city's youth ballet program. The instructors noticed something in her, not just talent, but hunger. A fire that burned behind her gentle smile. She trained every day after school, often skipping birthday parties and weekends out. While her friends were learning TikTok dances, Leila was learning pain and discipline, the kind that ballet demands. It wasn't easy. Her feet blistered. Her body ached. But she loved it. She loved the silence of the studio, the smell of rosin and sweat, the way her body became music. And then came the day she was invited to audition for the National Ballet Academy. Everything she had ever wanted was finally within reach. But life had other plans. She had practiced that routine 1,000 times. Every move etched into her muscles. The audition was only 2 weeks away. Then, during a late practice session, something went wrong. She leaped, just as she had hundreds of times before, but when she landed, pain exploded in her right ankle. She collapsed. Her coach rushed over, and the room spun as she tried to stand. A hospital visit, an X-ray, and one heartbreaking sentence: a severe ligament tear. You need surgery. And rest. A lot of it. Leila blinked, trying to understand. She had heard of dancers coming back from injuries. Maybe this was just a pause. Maybe it wasn't the end. But as days turned into weeks and the swelling barely subsided, reality set in. She watched others take her spot in rehearsals. Her dream academy audition passed. No calls came. No invitations. Just silence. Her body healed slowly, but something inside her stayed broken. She stopped going to the studio. The walls that once echoed with music now haunted her. Every time she saw a pirouette or heard classical music, her chest tightened. She deleted her ballet videos, hid her leotards in the closet, buried the posters under old blankets. At school, she drifted. Teachers noticed. Friends asked. But Leila just smiled and said she was tired. Inside, she felt like she was disappearing, like her identity had been stolen by fate. She wandered through hobbies: painting, piano, reading, but nothing for the way ballet did. It wasn't just what she loved, it was who she was. One afternoon, her friend Zara dragged her outside. "We're going for a run," as she said. Leila groaned. "I hate running." "You hate everything right now," as Zara said bluntly. "So maybe you need it." They started slow, just down the street and back. Leila's ankle tensed with each step, but something else stirred too. A rhythm, a movement, her breath syncing with her pace. She didn't love it, but she didn't hate it either. And in her world of numbness, that was something. The next morning, she laced up her sneakers and ran alone. The wind on her face, the early sun, the steady beat of her heart. She wasn't dancing, but she was moving. Free, unscripted. She ran every day after that. Just 15 minutes. Then 30. Then an hour. Her body remembered discipline. Her muscles, though unused, responded. Her heart began to race for the right reasons. For the first time in months, she felt strong. She was still broken, but she was moving forward. Running became her new ritual. After school, before homework, sometimes at dawn. It wasn't choreographed, but it was hers. Zara joined her often. They laughed, raced, gasped for air. Each run peeled away a layer of sadness. Leila started keeping a journal. Not of dance moves, but of distance. Time. Speed. She didn't even realize it, but she was setting goals. And beating them. One afternoon, the school's track coach saw her running laps around the field. He watched her stride, the control in her movement, the determination in her eyes. "Have you ever thought about cross-country?" he asked. Leila blinked. "Like racing?" He nodded. "You've got something. Natural form. Good stamina. Come by practice tomorrow." Something stirred in her. A door slightly open. She stepped through. It wasn't glamorous. Her shoes weren't right. She didn't know how to pace herself. But she ran. The gunshots start. The crowd cheering. The uneven trail. It was messy and wild and nothing like ballet. But she loved it. She didn't win. She didn't even place high. But when she crossed the finish line, covered in mud and sweat, she smiled. She was a runner now. Not every run was glorious. There were setbacks. Her ankle flared up. She hit mental walls. Doubt crept in. "You're not a real athlete," a whispered old fears. But she ran anyway. On bad days. In rain. Through tears. Because this time, quitting wasn't an option. The coach believed in her. Her team believed in her. Zara never let her miss a run. Most importantly, Leila began to believe in herself. Running didn't replace ballet. It revealed another version of her. One who didn't need perfection. Just motion. Just fire. She was alive again. Training got tougher. The early excitement faded into hours of pounding the pavement. Muscles ached, lungs burned, and the mental grind tested her more than she expected. Ballet had prepared her body, but running challenged her mind in new ways. She wrestled with loneliness on long runs and battled the urge to give up. Each day brought progress. A few seconds shaved off her time. A longer distance conquered. The coach smiled more often. Her teammates cheered louder. Leila started dreaming again, but this time about crossing finish lines, not stages. Just when things seemed to settle, her ankle flared again. A sharp pain during a morning run threatened to undo everything. Fear crept back in, stronger than before. Is this really your path? As she wondered, torn between pain and passion. Zara was there, steady and sure. You're not alone in this, as she reminded Leila. The coach adjusted her training to protect her ankle. For the first time, Leila accepted help without feeling weak. She realized strength wasn't about going it alone. Leila learned to listen to her body. Rest days became part of her routine. Meditation replaced some of her ballet rehearsals. She began to find peace not only in running, but in healing herself wholly, body and soul. At a small local race, Leila crossed the finish line first. It wasn't a championship, but it felt like one. The cheers, the pride, the smile she wore, it all confirmed she was on the right path. Her old dream had changed shape, but was no less beautiful. Balancing school, training, and healing was hard. Sleep was often short. Social life, almost non-existent. Family worries crept in. Was this sustainable? But each sacrifice was a step closer to the future she was building. Every setback taught Leila resilience. She learned to run through pain, but also to respect limits. This balance made her tougher, wiser, and more determined. She wasn't just running for medals anymore. She was running for herself. Friends, family, teammates, their encouragement was her fuel. Messages after races, visits to cheer her on, warm meals waiting at home. She wasn't alone. Their belief lifted her on days she felt weak. One day, an email arrived. She had qualified for the regional cross-country championship. It was official. The big race was near. Her heart raced, not with fear, but excitement. She had come so far. Training intensified. The coach mapped out every run, every rest. Leila visualized the course, the competitors, the finish line. She battled nerves but replaced doubt with focus. Late one night, she looked at her ballet shoes, now tucked away. No regrets. Ballet was her first dream, but running was her new life. She was grateful for every step, every lesson. The stadium buzzed with energy. The crowd's roar echoed in her ears. She stood at the start line, heart pounding. Memories of the fall, the pain, and the long road flashed through her mind. This was her moment. The gun fired. Feet pounded the track. She found her rhythm, steady and strong. The trail was tough, muddy, uneven, but she pushed on. The finish line was getting closer. Mid-race, fatigue clawed at her body. Her ankle protested, but she didn't listen. With every step, she repeated a mantra, one foot in front of the other. Don't stop. The crowd's cheers grew louder. Competitors closed in, but Leila found a burst of energy deep inside. Her legs moved faster. The finish line was just ahead. She crossed first. Breathless, sweaty, triumphant. Tears blurred her vision as the realization hit. She had won the state championship in cross-country. From broken ballet dreams to national glory. Friends and family surrounded her. Hugs, smiles, congratulations. Her coach beamed with pride. Leila felt a profound gratitude for the journey, the struggles, the support. She realized that dreams don't always end, they evolve. Sometimes, losing one opens the door to another. It's not about the path planned, but the courage to walk whatever road life gives. Leila stood tall, ready for whatever came next. Her past had shaped her. Her future was unwritten. But one thing was certain, no matter the challenge, she would keep moving forward, because she had learned how to fly again.